And is there any timeline that you can think of, or at least you're hoping for? But here's the truth, at least based on my experience and what I have found out throughout my journey, is that everybody is different. They give these random numbers for every year of being in a relationship. You have to give it a month or something like that to go through it and come out. But yeah, I'm not sure about that. It has to do with your choice of what you're gonna do now with this event in your life. It's a huge shift. So you decide, and based on the decision that you make, you can then take as much time as you want. And really, at the end, that's what matters. So if you do the first part of this healing journey, I call it, which is the idea that you look into yourself, the introspective, and thinking that what you will do is the beginning of this new life, a new authentic you. And through this difficult time, through this pain that you're feeling right now, right? So this is the perfect opportunity to identify what was right, what was not right about you, about me. And that takes time. It's not a one day or a week or a month kind of a process. It takes time because you have to sit with it, all right? And you have to deal with it. So it is based on your timeline and how much you put in the effort to dig deep and do this self-analysis. And with some help, by the way, you have to do that with some help. You can't do this on your own. And what I mean by that, you still have to do it on your own, but you do need a guide to ask you the right questions, and that's the key to that. And I suggest that you do that, and that's the only way that you can know that you're not biased. So this process of self-actualization, or in psychology they call it individuation, that's the depth psychology, Carl Jung psychology, that talks about this. So for me, it took a good part of 2 years. I was getting better, more in control, also understanding slowly why I showed up in life the way I did. And that took time. But by the time I remember that I turned the page and I felt good. And what I mean by that, I felt no blaming of anyone, including myself, because there was a lot of that at first. And then understanding, oh, this is why. And also develop this compassion through the self-reflection for the other person. So that was amazing. To me, that was the beginning of the proof that I was doing something right. So 2 years. And remember that I was in a 28-year relationship. Okay, so that was a long time. And I started very young, 20, 21. So for you, it may take longer or less, but it does make sense, because the longer that you've been in it, the more of a hold that past identity has been established, and you have to really go back, because this type of event, the separation and divorce, a permanent one, it is what is called as annihilation of self-identity. That means that you really don't know who you are anymore, and especially if you built the whole world based on that identity. And remember that how do we build our identities? You start when you're born, then we have the family. Imagined is this foundation for our lives right at the beginning, and sometimes we are not aware of it. Obviously we are not, but it starts like this. The foundation starts with family, then it's culture, then it has the environment, and then the circumstances that we have to deal with. And all of those things are out of our control. We don't know. So, and then based on those 4 pillars, imagine those are the main foundations of how we build our identity. We start building our identity based on those foundations. So when this annihilation happens, when this identity thing happens that completely is shattered by this tectonic event, then what happens? You've got to go back and you've got to understand who you are and why you are the way you are. And this pain is the indication of the beginning of this transformation. So think about that. How long will it take for you? Share your comments, your journey. Are you still in it? What is it that is holding you back? And in my next videos, I will touch base on other things that I have done and continuously doing to help with continuous growth and developing the identity that is true to me and true to you, and that hopefully it will resonate with you. All right, until next time, my friends, be well.